Coming up, a creative look at 2023's top Christmas commercials. Welcome back to Your Creative Brief. I'm Mark, your host, as always. And it's that most wonderful time of year again, right? And I love looking at top Christmas commercials to kind of do a review in terms of their creativity and their branding and their potential return on investment. So I can't show the whole commercials because of music licensing, and I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube, but I will be sure to put a link in the show notes below to the full commercials for you. So let's get to it. Okay, let's get this kicked off with number 5, which is Hobby Lobby's 50% off Christmas, which we'll come back to the title. The synopsis here is there's a Gen Z son and he's realizing his overworked single mom who's a nurse, she needs help around the house and she needs to have a good Christmas. And the brand messaging, in fact the tagline is "Christmas is what you make it," trademark. It fits with Hobby Lobby's mission of empowering creatives and along with their Christian and family values. So the positives here, it's very moving, very cinematic. The somber instrumental piano music and everything make it so that you don't even need dialogue. So I really like that. This commercial is actually recycled from 2020, but with over 70 million views this holiday season alone, I mean, that's massive ROI. It's kind of like Hershey's Kisses, the ringing bells that they play year after year. You know, don't fix something that isn't broken. Just like last year, though, the literal title of this one really bothers me. And also with Hobby Lobby's Christian values and everything, it just kind of feels like a cheapening, 50% off Christmas or exploiting that or something. Just feels like a miss there. I would have never named this ad that. You could have had the kid see an ad on his phone that said 50% off Christmas, or he could have even been in the Hobby Lobby store, which they never show, and there could have been a sign in the periphery that said 50% off. I don't know. It just seems too literal to me. The other thing with the tagline, "Christmas is what you make it," trademark, you know, none of the other advertisers trademarked, you know, anything like that, the messaging in their commercial. It just feels odd. Overall, a really good commercial, but maybe just a little bit more creative work with the tagline and the title. Okay, here's my number 4, and you've probably seen this one. They've run it a lot. It's Amazon's Joyride. And this is the 3 elderly ladies, these lifelong friends who find a feeling of joy being like kids again on this sledding hill. And the brand message here is one that Amazon uses quite a bit in their commercials, which is buying stuff from Amazon brings resolution, solves a problem, or brings joy. There's also kind of a little subtle message in there that seniors can easily shop from Amazon. If you catch this one scene, it's just her lifting up her phone and tapping one button to order these things from Amazon. Some of the highlights from it, I do like the Beatles song "In My Life." It works really well emotively, but when you think about it, it doesn't really match the 3 women's childhood, which would have been probably the 1940s or 50s. And I'm wondering if maybe they used an Andrews Sisters song, maybe an Andrews Sisters holiday song from the period, if it would have just made it that much better. In terms of return on investment, you know, Amazon really doesn't need to measure ROI on anything. I do wish they had tied it to a promotion, maybe like a nostalgic gifts section. I think that would have done really well, maybe from each decade, you know, to buy somebody. Overall, it's a great ad. I just didn't think it had that little extra magic that it could have. Number 3 is from Macys, and it's called "Hey Santa." And the synopsis here is that there's this family and they're shopping and visiting Santa in the New York City Macy's store. And there's this great twist at the end, which I don't want to spoil it for you. You have to watch the video. The brand messaging really here is that Macy's has these beautiful stores and there's something for everyone, or a gift for everyone. And there's also this little hint of that maybe shopping in a store provides this wonderful experience that you can't get by shopping online like with Amazon. So the highlights for this one is that I love this kid. He is adorable. He really reminds me of Emmanuel Lewis from the 1980 sitcom Webster. Yeah, you remember that? The epic moment for me in this one is when the kid blocks his vision from the Barbie section, like his distaste for Barbie. Now, before you load up my comments about how boys can enjoy Barbie and everything like that, I think this was done in a brilliant way, because Macy's could always say, well, he was just blocking his view from the entire toy section so he would stay focused on getting this gift, you know, whatever. I just thought it was hilarious. I laughed out loud. And the Hey Santa Claus song from the Moonglows, you might recognize that. That's from Christmas Vacation, and really a lot about how this was written and directed and was shot. It feels like a John Hughes or a Christopher Columbus directed production from the 1980s, which I think works really well. So in terms of the ROI, you know, I guess maybe anecdotally they might see an increase of people coming into the stores. You know, here again, I wish this was measured somehow. Maybe like with a promotion in the store, like an in-store giveaway, which would fit better with their tagline of "Give Love." You know, something to actually get you into the store. Okay, counting them down. We're at number 2, which is from Chevrolet, and it's called A Holiday to Remember. The theme of this one is that a granddaughter, she uses this trip around town in this vintage Chevy to help her grandmother with Alzheimer's remember her family at Christmas. And the brand messaging here is that Chevy is this iconic American brand that's part of our fondest memories, part of our tradition. And it does portray Chevrolet in a positive light, that it cares about an issue like Alzheimer's. And this one is definitely the most cinematic. It's the most moving. It's multi-generational. It has this kind of It's a Wonderful Life family scene at the end. And honestly, I cried a few times during this. I kind of defy you not to cry watching this commercial. And what's kind of crazy is this is like an automaker commercial. So in terms of return on investment, I have no idea how Chevrolet could really ever measure this. I probably would have directed people to giving to a campaign for an Alzheimer's nonprofit or something, because I guess it could almost feel like they were exploiting this Alzheimer's condition. And I guess I don't know why you wouldn't want to compel people to give to such a worthy thing. So a little bit of a miss there, but again, this one was so moving. Okay, and my number 1 Christmas commercial for 2023, drum roll please. It's Apple's Fuzzy Feelings. Now, I really hadn't seen this on TV. I just came across it online on YouTube. And it is wonderful. It's awesome. So the storyline here is that this worker who has a creative side hustle of like this stop animation has a change of heart about her really stern boss during the holiday season. So the brand message here, and I'm going to read this from Apple, is creativity has the power to change the way we see each other and the world. You make the holidays. And notice there's no trademark there like Hobby Lobby. Anyway, this reinforces that Apple really is the brand for creators and creatives, the tech brand. Highlights here are the use of George Harrison's song, Isn't It a Pity? I wasn't really familiar with that, but it just fits perfectly. And really the visual style here is this beautiful film emulation or color grading. The character development is really good. The acting is really good. Just a great commercial. And I would say that you should watch this a couple of times. The Amazon one with the 3 ladies, you see it once and you kind of get it, and it kind of gets old. This one, you could watch it several times and pick up on new things. Like if you think about her boss giving her this handmade crocheted type of item, that means that he works in textiles, and part of what she does as a creator is working with textiles. So there's like this common bond. And then there's this scene where she's staring at his puppet and the puppet is staring back at her. So I love art like this where you can come back a second, third, or fourth time and pick up on things. It's really great. In terms of ROI, like Amazon, does Apple really need to measure their ROI? Probably not. I think that they really could have made it much more evident that the stop motion parts of this were actually filmed on an iPhone 15 and edited on a MacBook. And I think the best way to do that would have been to roll some movie type, cinematic type credits at the end, you know, promoting the animator and the people that worked so hard on this. I think that would have just been very cohesive instead of having like this little text phrase at the bottom that says additional software used from the App Store. Anyway, overall, just the best one I thought that was out there this holiday season. Really great job. Now, do you agree or disagree with some of my thoughts, or maybe I entirely missed one of your favorite Christmas commercials? Feel free to leave me some comments below. And I wish you and your family a very merry and most importantly, a meaningful Christmas season. For now, I'm Mark for your Creative Brief.